Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to include some of the warm-up for the workout specifically. And so you can kind of see, one, the importance of the warm-up, which I think is one of the most important parts. And then two, you can follow along with these and warm up with me as well. So I'm going to be doing some banded rows here. I like to use a slightly stronger band for this one. And I apologize for the camera angle or the limited screen. I only have so much space in here, and so I was only able to get the camera so far back, but I'll do my best to try to get in the picture here. So with the rows, a set of 10 or so, thinking about shoulders down and back. I'm trying to pull, replacing my elbows with my hands in space, really pinching my shoulder blades together and trying not to lean too far. Instead, trying to kind of sitting in this nice position here. I lost track, but 10 or so is great there. I'm going to swap these bands out for a slightly lighter band, lighter resistance. And then we're going to do some shoulder extensions. So shoulders down and back, going straight back with my arms as far as I can without letting my shoulders roll forward. And again, shooting for about 10-ish here. I'm not too concerned, so I'm not even really going to count, but that's probably close to 10. Now I'm going to switch my hands so my palms are up. I'm going to straighten my elbows out, shoulders down and back again, hands at about shoulder height, and then again thinking about pinching my shoulder blades together. And then after I get to 10 or so, I'm going to shake that out for a second, give that a rest. Keep those bands in my hand. Now I'm going to go thumbs up, hands up and back, this kind of touchdown sign. You might have to scoot in a little bit to make that resistance work for you. And again, I'm doing about 10 of these, trying to maintain best posture that you can. And then once we get to 10 of those or so, you are done with that one. I'm going to grab a slightly smaller band, and then again resetting our posture, doing some external rotations now. I like to stick to that number 10-ish, so if you need to do a little more than that, that's great. But I'm trying to keep my elbow by my side. Once I get to that 10-ish, we're going to switch sides. Elbow by my side. I'm doing this resisted external rotation, thinking about pinching my shoulder blades together, keeping that elbow close, and then again about 10 times. And we're going to grab, do some shoulder blade push-ups. Try to do these in a way where you can see, but we're going to do pinching and spreading the shoulder blades about 10 times. Good, and then we're gonna grab a band or a stick, a PVC pipe, or something similar, and do a little bit of shoulder mobility. So grab that nice and wide, or if you have a band, just spread the band a little wide, and then just doing these pass-throughs. About 10-ish, just thinking about good posture. Forward and back, mobilizing the shoulders, elbows, and wrists. Then we're gonna do some big circles here around your body, keeping that PVC pipe or band as close as you can as you go around. Again, about 10, one direction, and then we'll flip directions. It's good to spend decent amount of time on the warm-up and the mobilizing and getting your body prepped and ready. And we're going to do a little bit of some leg swings. So if you have that PVC pipe or something, you can hang on to that for balance. Otherwise, you can use the wall, a chair, something like that. This isn't meant to be a balance exercise. It's meant to be this nice hip mobility exercise. Once we get to about 10, we'll switch other side. Same thing on the other leg. These nice big front to back swings. Getting a good mobility, a little stretch on each side. Then we're going to go side to side. This is typically a smaller range of motion, especially when you come across your body relative to the front to back motion. And then the other side. And then I like this stretch where we take our PVC pipe, or this again could be a band or even like a towel or something like that. And you would drape that over your shoulder, grab the side, create some external rotation, and then you can go up and down, get a nice little stretch here in the back of your shoulder, and your lats, and your triceps. It just depends on where you're tight. I actually even feel it in my wrists. So do a few of those. Same thing on the other side. Again, you're going to grab it here, throw this over your shoulder, little rotation, and then up and down. About 5 or so of those. And then we'll set that to the side. And then we're going to grab our equipment for the workout. So we have 3 movements, and you, if you don't have all this equipment, feel free to modify. We're doing deadlifts. I'm going to be doing them with a barbell. You can do them with dumbbells or kettlebells or any other object you have. We're going to do pull-ups. I have a pull-up bar here. You could also do ring rows or TRX rows or a bent over dumbbell row, something like that as a modifier. And then I'm going to use the bike. And if you don't have the bike, you could be jogging in place. You could be jump roping, anything like that would be great. So I'm going to grab the barbell. We're going to start getting warmed up for the deadlifts. And first thing is with the empty bar or a lightweight, you're just going to do a couple deadlifts. So shoulders down and back, starting at the top. We're going to hinge over at the hips, and then about midway down my shin, I'm going to squeeze my butt, come back to the top position. I'm going to do a few of those just to get my body used to the motion. Weight on my heels, shoulders down and back. For the workout, we're doing sets of 8. 8 deadlifts, 8 pull-ups, 8 calories on the bike, 4 total rounds. And we're going to put a little bit of weight on there. And again, if you're not using a barbell, feel free to start at a lighter weight and then kind of work your way up as we go. I'm just going to be moving a few things around as we're warming up. And as far as warm-up sets and reps go, it's very much up to you. It's very subjective. There's no necessarily right or wrong way, but if you don't have any preference or if you've never done it before, a really good way to start is maybe 3 to 5 repetitions at a light weight, and then add a little weight, 3 to 5 repetitions at a slightly more moderate weight, and then maybe 3 to 5 repetitions at what the working weight is going to be. So I'm going to try to do something similar to that, and that way my body's prepped and ready for the movement, but I'm not overdoing it and feeling, exhausted by the time we start the workout. So this is going to be my first weight here. 3 of those feels pretty good. Add a little more. Feel free to do the same. And then for the pull-ups or the pulling motion, I want you to also think about doing a couple warm-ups there. So, like I said, if you have pull-ups available, or a pull-up station available, that's probably your best bet, is to just stick with pull-ups. And these could be a banded pull-up, these could be a jumping pull-up, this could be any variation that you feel comfortable with. I'm going to be doing strict pull-ups as the variation, but you do not have to do that. You can do something different. And you can also modify the rep scheme or the rep amount if you need to. So for example, if 8 is just way too many, you could do 6, you could do 4, you could do 5. You could do a number that is much more reasonable for where you're at. So keep that in mind. And again, we're still warming up here. So make sure you're staying focused on the movements, having good form. Okay, I'm gonna do one more little warm-up set with my working weight. Again, trying to make sure I add this up properly. Okay. So I'm going to be doing, if you care, I'm going to be doing 205 for my weight, with my goal of trying to stay tight with my form, be nice and crisp with my movements. Whatever weight you choose, I would have the same goal for you, and make this less about the weight and more about how well you move and your form. So we're going to do a couple of our pull-up or pulling movements, ring rows, TRX rows, whatever you've decided on, bent over rows. So we'll do a couple of those before we get started. And again, you don't have to do as many with these. Feel free to do less repetitions, just whatever amount you need to get yourself nice and warm, nice and ready to go. All right. I'm going to set a clock here. So just to reiterate what we're doing, it's 4 rounds for time of 8 deadlifts, 8 pull-ups, then 8 calories on the bike. 4 total rounds. As far as pacing, I would say just smooth and steady. All these movements can be a little challenging, and so they're going to probably all jack our heart rate up a bit. So think about nice and smooth, nice and steady, consistent pace, and think about moving well throughout the workout. All right, so I'm going to start the timer. We're going to go in 10 seconds, starting with those deadlifts. 3, 2, 1, go. 8 deadlifts. and 8 pull-ups. Once you get those 8 done, hop on the bike or whatever cardio you have. You got 8 calories. Round 2. Make sure you're breathing. Back to the 8 pull-ups. Once you're done with those 8 deadlifts, back to the bike, 8 more calories. Round number 3. last round. Final time on the bike. Done. Whew. As soon as you finish, focus on bringing your heart rate down, controlling your breathing. If you can get some big inhales through your nose, and then some controlled exhales every once in a while. Nice job. That was a good workout. About 10 minutes, maybe just under that. We're all done. Good work.